So this is very exciting.
We're so excited. Oh gosh.
Yes,
We are so excited too. We're
I
super
know.
happy
We've been
to.
we've been cooking this up for a little while. It's nice to be out in the open.
I know, right? Now we can talk about it freely and get like down with the marketing and release the song and the credits and all this kind of stuff. So, how are you guys doing? What
Yeah.
you've
Tell
been
us
watching the
about
show.
your
What's going
week
on?
at the very least. How was your week?
You go, Nadine.
Yeah, no, well, you know what? Here's what I want to point out that immediately when you said Wednesday, you have to take a shot for every time Hump Day showed up in the comments.
Oh no.
Um, we very purposely avoided the word hump
We
Yeah.
did. We
as
did.
we
That is
planned
true.
this.
That is true.
Tempting though it was. Yes.
Yes, you know what? It has been a great week because the Florida legislature is in session. Here we are at ground zero. And we had record-breaking crowds. And everywhere I go right now, across the state and in other parts of the country, that fighting spirit is absolutely gaining ground every single day. And we were able to, force them to delay and possibly kill two bad bills. And
Nice.
I do think that it's one of the things that I think is super important for everybody to understand is when we throw sand in the gears, it actually matters. It matters
It does.
because there's an awakening that is happening. There are people who are regretful. There are people who are seeing the world and seeing the very direct impact of what is happening. And I'm excited by the last guest you had because I think we've got to start talking about what comes after we stop them. Like
Yes.
we really have to be thinking about what will our healthcare system look like? What will the economics of our country look like? I took a Uber ride, and I swear I told this young man who was driving the car, I said, "Will you call me and let me know you got home?" Because he had been driving since 3 in the morning, and he
Oh,
dropped me off at 9 p.m. He said, "You're the last ride. I'm going to go have a meal with my girlfriend, and I'm going to take a nap before I go back out here." And it
Wow.
was, it just occurred to me just how ragged at the ragged edge everybody is. But there's possibility in that too. The kinds of conversations we ended up having. I wouldn't say this guy thinks of himself as political at all, but he's experiencing, not theoretically, but actually, what this cruel lack of empathy um, technocrat economy is willing to grind us into powder, and that's one more person ready to not just push back but push forward. So those are the kinds of things. That's the kind of week I've had, seeing a lot of people revved up and ready to fight back.
I love that. Not just push back, but push forward. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's great. It's
That's
great.
amazing. Lisa,
Lisa,
how about you? I know you were on a deadline. I know you were doing things.
Yeah, it's been every week. I feel like since January 20th is almost a year's worth of legal violations of just total transgression of the law, and also just the surreal things that are happening, like the story that you were talking about, the big story that hopefully will continue to be a big story because it is a big fucking story about the text chain and the people on that text chain who are in charge of our national security, and clearly we knew beforehand they were not up to the task, but this is absolute conclusive proof. And as you said, Nadine, risking the lives of our pilots and putting this information into the hands of, potentially Putin watching people's signal or text messages over
Just
their
because one of the
phones.
guys was in the
I think
Kremlin meeting with
over the
Putin
shoulder.
while this was
Yeah.
happening.
All he has
Yeah,
to do is look over the shoulder. They're
yeah,
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
well,
Insane.
yeah. No,
here's the other thing. If you look closely at it, and Lisa, I'm wondering, it looks like ChatGPT. When you can see the kind of language, including those long dashes that nobody uses those except ChatGPT. And it looks as though he's uploading this information into another unsecured app, ChatGPT,
Wow.
and then posting in an unsecured place. So who knows how far these war plans went beyond that signal group. But yeah, I think that it's been amazing to me the number of people who I know voted for Trump, who are from my hometown, my high school, who are enraged by what they are seeing and furious at anybody who's trying to minimize it.